Welcome to History's Mysterious Minds, an audio journey into the strange, the forgotten, and the mysterious side of our history. Here, we explore ancient places, unexplained discoveries, lost knowledge, and the stories that challenge what we think we know about the past. Tonight, we travel deep into the deserts of Africa to a place older than the pyramids, a place built by people whose names are lost to time. A place where stones may have been arranged to track the heavens themselves. This is the story of the Nabta Playa stone circle. Long before the rise of ancient Egypt, before pharaohs ruled the Nile, and before the great monuments of stone appeared along its banks, the Sahara was a very different world. Today, the Sahara Desert is one of the driest places on Earth. But thousands of years ago, it was green. Grasslands stretched across the landscape. Seasonal rains filled shallow basins with water, animals roamed freely, and humans settled where lakes appeared after the rains. One of these places was Nabta Playa, located in what is now southern Egypt, near the border with Sudan. Around 10,000 years ago, small groups of nomadic people began visiting this region. They came not for permanent cities, but for water. Each year, seasonal rains created a temporary lake. And where water gathered, life followed. Archaeologists believe these early inhabitants were cattle herders. They moved with the seasons, guiding their animals across the grasslands. But something unusual happened at Nabta Playa. Over time, these people began to build, not homes, not fortresses, but monuments scattered across the desert are carefully arranged stones. Some stand upright, others lie flat, positioned with surprising precision. At first glance, they may appear random, but closer study revealed patterns, intentional placement, meaning. In the 1970s, researchers began serious investigations of the site. What they discovered challenged long-held assumptions about prehistoric societies. The stones were not simply markers or decorations. They formed one of the world's earliest known stone circles, and it was astonishingly old. Dating suggests parts of the site were constructed more than 7,000 years ago. That makes Nabta Playa older than Stonehenge, older even than many early Egyptian settlements along the Nile. The stone circle itself is modest in size, only a few meters across, yet its simplicity hides complexity. Several stones align with the rising sun during the summer solstice, the moment each year when the sun reaches its northernmost point in the sky. For people living in a seasonal desert environment, this alignment may have been crucial. The summer solstice signalled the coming of rains, and rain meant survival. Imagine standing there thousands of years ago, the desert air cooling before dawn, a community gathered in silence, watching the horizon, waiting for the first light to appear exactly where the stones predicted. The sky itself becoming a calendar. This suggests something remarkable. These ancient people were not only herders, they were observers of the cosmos. They tracked celestial cycles, they understood patterns in nature, and they transformed that knowledge into stone. Nearby, archaeologists found additional structures, lines of stones stretching across the playa, buried chambers, and tumuli, small stone-covered mounds that appear to be ceremonial or burial sites. Some contained animal remains, especially cattle. The careful placement suggests ritual significance. Cattle may have held spiritual importance, symbolizing wealth, survival, or cosmic order. One particularly mysterious feature is a group of large megalithic stones aligned in north-south directions. Their positioning appears deliberate. Some researchers believe they may correspond to specific stars visible thousands of years ago, possibly even stars associated later with Egyptian religious beliefs. If true, Nabta Playa may represent an early foundation for ideas that later flourished along the Nile. This raises an intriguing possibility. Could cultural traditions have begun in the Sahara before moving toward the river valleys as the climate changed? As the region slowly dried, populations migrated eastward. They carried knowledge with them, beliefs, rituals, astronomical observations passed through generations. By around 5,000 years ago, the rains weakened. The Green Sahara began transforming into desert. Lakes vanished, grasslands faded, and Nabta Playa was abandoned. The people moved on, leaving their stones behind. For thousands of years, shifting sands protected the site. Wind erased footprints, memory faded. Civilizations rose and fell elsewhere. Yet the stones remained, waiting quietly beneath the desert surface. When modern archaeologists uncovered them, debate began almost immediately. Was the circle truly astronomical? Or were the alignments coincidence? Some scholars argue the evidence clearly supports intentional solar observation. Others urge caution, warning that modern interpretations can project meaning onto ancient structures. The truth may lie somewhere between science and symbolism. What is certain is this: the builders of Nabta Playa possessed organization and shared purpose. Constructing stone arrangements required planning, cooperation, and knowledge passed between generations. This challenges the old idea that complex thinking only appeared with large civilizations. Instead, Nabta Playa shows that even small, mobile communities could develop sophisticated relationships with the sky and landscape. They understood time, not through written calendars, but through observation, through memory. The site also changes how we think about the origins of monumental architecture. Rather than beginning suddenly in ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia, monument building may have deeper roots stretching into prehistoric Africa. Today, Nabta Playa lies silent once more, far from cities, far from crowds, a circle of stones beneath vast skies. At night, the same stars shine above it as they did thousands of years ago. Unchanged, endless. Standing there now, one might feel a connection across time, a reminder that humans have always looked upward, always searched for meaning in the heavens, always tried to understand their place in the universe. The mystery of Nabta Playa is not only what the stones measure, but why they were built at all. Were they tools, sacred spaces, ceremonial gathering points, or all of these at once? Without written records, the builders cannot explain their intentions. Their voices are gone, their language unknown, yet their ideas remain encoded in stone geometry and cosmic alignment. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery. Across thousands of years, separated by culture and technology, humans continue to do the same thing. We mark time. We watch the sky. We search for patterns that give meaning to existence. Nabta Playa reminds us that curiosity is ancient. Science and spirituality were once intertwined. Observation and belief walked hand in hand, and long before history was written, people were already asking profound questions about the universe. Who are we? Where do we come from? And how do we understand the passing of time? The answers may never be fully known, but in a remote desert basin, a circle of stones still points toward the rising sun, still marking a moment that mattered deeply to people long forgotten. A silent calendar, a prehistoric observatory, a mystery carved into the edge of human history. You have been listening to History's Mysterious Minds. If you enjoyed exploring the strange, the forgotten, and the mysterious side of our history, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with others who love uncovering the past. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and remember, history still holds mysteries waiting to be discovered.